Welcome to Global Village Show. Today, thank you very much for watching us. Today we are airing from Brooks Legion. We have two great guests from the Rotary Club, both of them co-president of the Rotary Club. Inga Elfson and also Leona Ferguson. Welcome to the program.
Thank you.
Good to be here.
Yes.
Thanks. Inga, you want to tell us a little bit about yourself?
Yes. I am a newcomer to Brooks.
There you go. That is true indeed.
It is indeed true because I was born in Denmark. Mm-hmm. However, I have been privileged to live in Brooks for 60 years now, so I feel my roots are here.
Yeah.
I'm a retired educator,
mm-hmm.
A teacher and principal,
mm-hmm.
and I'm currently a school board trustee.
So, Inga, the definition of newcomer, especially most of the large of the community, they see newcomer different way of the way that you mentioned now. Newcomer, they think it's refugee person coming from third world countries. So you want to just elaborate a little bit about newcomer?
Mm-hmm. As I feel like a newcomer in that I came from another land, mm-hmm. and I certainly did not know any English when I arrived, mm-hmm. and so that was a huge barrier mm-hmm. For me and my family when we first came. And I remember distinctly that I was just to start school, and so my English picked up much more quickly than my parents, who didn't have as much pressure maybe to learn English as quickly or as much opportunity as I did to learn to read and write in English. Yes. So it didn't take long before I was helping them with their English, which was not appreciated a lot of the time.
That's true indeed. That's okay. Leona, you want to tell us a little bit about yourself?
Sure. I was born in Bassano, so I am not a newcomer, but my grandparents were from Norway, so they came through the United States and then came to Canada when homesteading was first allowed here in Alberta, came right to Dutchess. So I've always lived in this area. I grew up at Dutchess on a farm. I was one of 5 children, and I went away to school and became a registered nurse and came back home, and I've worked in this community ever since. So I've worked for 43 years as a registered nurse, most of it in full-time, in home care and in the hospital, and loved every minute of that. That was a good job for me. I loved to be a nurse. I've got 2 children and 2 grandchildren, and they both my children don't live in Brooks. They live in Winnipeg and Vancouver, so I get to travel a little bit with them. And I'm retired now, so I get to enjoy the part of working hard for a while and now enjoying my community, and I really enjoy living in Brooks.
You want to touch base with the Rotary Club, the Brooks site, the history of...
A Rotary Club in Brooks started in 1983, and it's been a fairly active club here in Brooks. Rotary Club is part of an international organization. Rotary International is all over the world, and there are over 1 million members of the Rotary Club. Rotary Club does lots of wonderful things internationally and also locally in our community. The motto of Rotary Club is service above self. So that means that when we get to be a part of Rotary, we are wanting to volunteer, and that's what attracted me to join Rotary. I joined with Inga. We joined 2.5 years ago, and somehow we managed to get to be co-presidents together. We're sharing the role of president together for these 2 years. So that's been a very nice thing for me to be able to work with Inga and to find out lots about Rotary. One of the things that happened in Brooks with Rotary Club a few years ago was that the Rotary Club helped to build the helipad. And Jim Murray was on the Rotary Club then and spent many, many hours building the helipad at the hospital. We had a helipad here long before many, many rural hospitals in Alberta did. And we were lucky enough then to be able to have STARS service come. That was all because of Rotary and because of Jim. the rest of the club sure helped as well. But Rotary International even recognized Jim for the hours that he put in getting that helipad built. So those are the kinds of things that we can do in our community.
What challenges you face, for example, as you just mentioned a while ago, when you first arrived with the family? Is it similar what the newcomers current coming face today, or was it different?
It was different in that we certainly didn't have iPhones and iPads or any of the latest technology. However, I think that there's many similarities. You know, the fear of coming somewhere to a new place, the fear of how to fit in, the fear of not being able to speak or understand, and just the very simple things that we take for granted nowadays, that they become huge obstacles. So I have a certain empathy, certainly, for newcomers, whether they're, as you say, from Asia or Africa, or whether they're from Europe, or even from the United States or from Eastern Canada. You know, they're all newcomers. And sometimes it's easier in a sense when there isn't a language barrier, but it's never really easy.
Okay. So the Danish language, is it similar to the English when you were learning, or is it different totally?
Oh no, it's totally different.
Totally different.
Yes,
okay.
Absolutely, totally different.
Right.
And yes, I do speak it a little bit still, because my relatives live in Denmark, and with the advent of Facebook, I'm doing a lot more Danish reading, because my relatives are on Facebook with me.
Oh, there you go.
Yes, I know, it's amazing. Just totally amazing. Okay. Small world.
Small world, but it's not the same as, for example, other places, somebody coming from, let's say, Italy or Spain.
Oh yeah, they're all different languages.
So Danish language, is it the same as the writing Latin then? The writing, for example, Danish writing, very similar to the English writing, that will make someone to learn faster.
Not at all.
Okay.
No.
So
English, I think, is more difficult than even than Danish, to learn. So yes, absolutely,
I know the Dutch is one of these, Dutch and German a little bit very similar. My brother lives in the Netherlands for the past 30 years, and it's very similar to the German, but still different languages.
Danish, Denmark adjoins Germany as well, but their languages are quite different.
Different, right?
Yeah.
All I know, the German says Dankeschön, so. The International Rotary Club, they have contributed a lot of good things to the third world countries.
Yes.
You want to touch base with that?
I do. I'm absolutely thrilled to say that actually Leona and 4 of our members are going to be going to El Salvador in 3 weeks, and they're going to be working, building houses down there. So they're gone for a week, and I should let Leona tell us about it because she's going.
There you go. Here you go.
Well, we're going on the 18th of March for a week, and we're traveling with an organization called Shelter Canada. They build houses in El Salvador and take 23 groups out for 1 week each to El Salvador. And while you're there, you build 10 houses in 1 week.
Wow.
So I'm not sure how that's going to go. I'm quite excited to see what's going to happen. I hope that I'm able to help. They tell me that I can, and I'm keen and eager to be able to help. More than that, I'm interested in learning about the people that live there. That's what really attracts me. To find out, why is it that they are having trouble to have homes? How can we help? And what more can we do? This can't be the end. So it's going to be a very interesting time for me.
So that's what's happening.
We're very fortunate with Rotary International. We are able to access international grants that go with us to buy the supplies that are going with us. We're traveling with 2 other groups as well, one from Airdrie and one from Cochrane, all Rotary members. There'll be 15 of us all together. And with our club contribution, our own personal contribution, and Rotary International's contribution, we're taking over $33,000 with us in funds that will buy the house, the supplies that will build the houses. So it's amazing how we can multiply our funds by being a member of Rotary International and being able to access that those funds as well. So this is one project. We're hoping that we can start with some other ones as well.
No, that's good. And also, you were part of that polio immunization, I think.
Yes, yeah. Rotary International has a long-term project, and what they want to do is eradicate polio in the whole world, and they're working very hard on doing that. We haven't gone to help with the immunizations, but we certainly have contributed funds towards that. Bill and Melinda Gates are really big a help to getting that going. I think that right now Rotary is in Pakistan working on getting as many people as possible immunized there. They've been in Africa, they've been many places. Polio can be eradicated, they know they can, and they are so close to getting it eradicated that we're this close, that's what they say, this close.
Wow.
So we're working on it, and hopefully it'll become a disease that we don't have to worry about anymore.
Some of the tribes, I think, in Pakistan is giving hard time because of their mental status of they always come up with a reasoning, culture, or religion. But that's not the case. I think that's the common good for their own families.
Exactly, that's for sure.
Yeah. I know
so we're lucky that Rotary International and our own club can look outside of our community and look inside our community as well to see things that need to have attention, and we can do things to make those things happen.
That's good news. I think that's good for the community to know. How would one be able to be a member of the Rotary Club?
Go ahead.
Anyone?
Anybody that's interested can talk to us about becoming a member. There is a membership fee every year that you have to pay. And what we really encourage is that, first of all, we have a membership director, and that's Mohammed Idris right now. He is our membership director and has agreed to stay on with us for the next year to be director of that part of our club as well. And so he generally will talk to people and tell them a little bit about our club and what we expect, because you don't just come for a good time, you come to work as well. So we need to be clear about that. And then sometimes we encourage people to come to a few meetings to see what it's like before you make a decision about whether you want to be a member. But absolutely, if anybody is interested, we're open to anybody being members.
How would, as a trustee in our region, how can we encourage families to involve, for example, a school?
The best thing that you do and that they can do is come to the school, to ask questions and to talk to the teachers. And if they're willing to do that much, that's excellent, because it just helps to pave the way, and it helps them to overcome the fear. Once I think you've been to somewhere, then like a school, then it's no longer such a fearful place, because I mean their kids go there every day, and so it's important for them to feel comfortable going there as well. The other thing that they can, and I always encourage all parents to do, and I would love to see some of the newer parents feel more comfortable doing, is coming to school council meetings. Those meetings are for parents. They're usually once a month, and the school invites everybody to come. And if they'll come, they'll learn more and get to meet other parents and can ask their questions there too. So whatever they have that they need to know.
No, that's good. And I think since you are one of the great trustees we have in the region, I think it might be also a good idea to think about having a meet and greet, for example.
Absolutely.
Without any agenda.
Yes.
So that the families will not be afraid of communication issue, because when you say you go and talk to the teacher, first thing comes to their mind is, how am I supposed to communicate? So if you have a meet and greet, for example, let's say junior high school or the high school or other places, without agenda, so that will encourage the participation of the families. They come with no agenda, they will have tea and coffee, they will meet with the teachers and they will mingle with them. That will build also their confidence to join the school.
Yeah, little steps.
Little
Absolutely, little steps. And as long as they're willing, then I think that then helps them better get involved, and also it'll really help their children in school.
My follow-up question is a place that we came, for example, we don't have a volunteer in our vocabulary. There is none, zero.
Okay.
There is no volunteer in the vocabulary in Africa. No. So that's something new vocabulary to the system. The generation who was born here, definitely they will. But the older generation like us who came, most of the people don't even know what volunteer is. Volunteering your time to different without getting paid, they will tell you thank you very much. It takes time for them. Coming from Europe back then, was that the case, for example, for the current newcomers?
I think that it was volunteering, but in a different way.
Okay.
For example, my mom and dad came from the farm, and they would volunteer to help out other farmers whenever they were busy, and particularly at harvest time, for example. So that was their way of volunteering. I think nowadays the volunteering is different. Certainly we've expanded it, and I think for people who are new to Brooks, Brookson area, I think that the best thing for people to do is get to know their neighbors. You know, you're outside and say hello, and how are things going, and how's the weather, and you know, just start there, and then build, and find out what they're involved in, and you know, and if they're volunteering with anything. I mean, certainly in the wintertime, for example, there's snow to shovel. You know, everybody has snow to shovel. There might be an older person down the street who isn't able to shovel snow anymore. You know, could you volunteer and shovel some snow? I mean, just little things. It doesn't have to be big.
That's a good message.
Yeah, just and don't expect a lot to start with, I think.
Okay, just small steps.
Small steps, baby steps, you bet. Absolutely, yeah.
How best you think we can encourage newcomers, for example, or from the hospital side, the public health, to reach out? Immunization.
Well, my background is more in the acute care side, and so I wasn't involved, but I do personally believe that it's very important for all of us to maintain our immunizations all the time. And I think that the health unit and the Alberta Health Services is working hard to try and help people to understand how important that is. If we all are immunized, we prevent anybody in the community from getting sick. It helps if all of us together as a group protect everybody. And so by being immunized, we're protecting the more vulnerable as well, the babies, the seniors, and those people who have lowered resistance to things. So sometimes people can't be immunized because of their immune system not being able to respond. So the best thing for us to do as a group of people in the community is to make sure that we are all immunized, and that we can protect each other as well as protecting ourselves. So.
But the flu shot, for example, which is during the fall time. Some people don't agree with the fact that they say there is a problem with the flu shot. So if you weigh the positive and the negative of the flu shot itself.
Well, you know, I get the flu shot every year because I think it's better to do that than not. I'm into prevention a lot. I have talked to people who have gotten the flu, and then they say, I wish I'd gotten the flu shot, because they don't want to have to live through having that flu again. Because the flu is very hard on people, and so I think, you know, just to be careful and to try and keep people from being sick, we all can do that together by getting the shots.
And I think one of the major problems is today you have the Google, so everyone is expert. They will write something that's not true. You cannot verify. They will say flu shot is bad. with no scientific reason.
Yeah,
So
it's better to, there certainly is lots of really good information about immunizations. The Alberta Health Services, your doctors, the public health nurses, all have very good information about it. And I would prefer that people would go there to look and ask those questions than to go to somewhere where maybe the research isn't quite as reliable. It's good to scare people all the time, and some people love to do that. But if we look for reliable scientific information, we're going to be reassured that it's a good thing to have happen.
Oh, that's well said. I think that's important for everyone, whether newcomer or
for sure.
somebody here. I think immunization is extremely important for us to make sure that everyone is well, healthy, and have the resistance. Inga, the issue of the, for example, going back again to the school, the trustee. How would you say, for example, having a kid is coming from outside? If I'm not mistaken, I think the age of 19 is Alberta education, or the age of 21. I don't know the cutoff for the high school they have.
The cutoff is 19.
19. Because I think Saskatchewan is 21. If I'm not mistaken, that's what I was told. Is there would be a way, for example, for that age to be increased, or that is something that has to come from the provincial side, for example?
Well, actually, the reason I say 19 is because Grasslands chooses to educate up to the age of 19.
19, okay.
But provincially, 18 is the cutoff.
Oh.
So yes, so we've added an extra year because we think it's important, and it's important for the students to get as much education as possible within our school district. So,
since both of you have known in the community a long time, and both of you have the value of education, what will be your message to our viewers, especially the youth?
Well, I think it's absolutely really important for people to stay in school. I have a partner right now who left school before he graduated, ended up in an accident, and then ended up coming back to school. And that is also available to all students, to come back to school, even if you, for whatever reason, decide to leave. It's important in terms of how your life is going to proceed. If you stay in school, you have every chance of making better money, better job, higher wage, and being happier.
You said enough. I think that is great. So I hope they will listen and adapt to that.
Yes.
Sometimes they find life is ups and downs, and they get frustrated.
Yeah.
But that's what life is all about.
I know. I've heard that school is boring, lots, and there are that's true. So there are certain parts of school that are boring, but at the same time, if you can keep the end view in mind and keep what you really want, hopefully that'll help to steer you in the right direction.
There you go. Thank you very much, Leona.
Well, I agree with Inga 100%.
Okay.
I think it's important to set goals for yourself and to work towards them. Sometimes it is hard, sometimes it is boring, but when you look forward and see that there are things that you can do that will make you happy, maybe it isn't even about how much money you make, but it's about fulfilling yourself and knowing that you're doing something that makes you happy. That is so important. Education is never a waste of time. It doesn't matter if you're 45 years old and wanting to go back and get some more education. I still learn things. I'm a senior citizen now, but I love to learn. Learning is something that we should cherish all the time. We are so fortunate here to have so much information and so much access to things that we need to take advantage of that. And it'll turn out good.
There you go. So learning is, education is lifelong learning.
Lifelong, absolutely, for sure, yeah.
Oh, that is.
And I can say on behalf of Leona and myself, what we've been learning about is Rotary.
There you go.
Yes, we've had a steep learning curve,
Yeah.
and we've done our best, and supported each other. Actually, it's been
partner.
yes, feels like a partner in crime.
So is it every Thursday now, or is it the 4 weeks?
Yeah, every Thursday
It's every Thursday.
at noon at the
Every
Heritage.
Thursday through the month.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, I thought it was three.
Well, one of our meetings is a business meeting, you know, and I talk about boring things. Maybe that's not quite the exciting one. That's usually the first Thursday of the month is our business meeting with the group. So then that's when we talk about the plans we have, the things that we need to do, and if there's any projects that we've got on the go that we want to check in with. Sometimes it's about our social times too, as well. We have some fun times. We have a fun golf time in the fall, and we have a corn roast in the summer, and we have a Christmas party.
The rodeo.
We work at the beer gardens. That's a work thing for us, but we have lots of fun at the rodeo for sure. And so we have lots of things. We look after the gate at the medieval fair.
Yeah.
So those kinds of things we get involved with in the community, and that helps us to be involved. Yeah, for sure.
Well, I'm one of those living testimony, and I know that Rotary Club have done a great job.
Good.
They have done a positive contribution, whether it's locally or internationally, and we hope they will continue for many years to come. I just left my hat at home. I should have just take my hat off for the well-done job you guys do.
Oh, that's good.
And I hope those viewers who like to join Rotary, they can call Mohammed Idris for membership stuff. And if they need more information, they can call you can call either Inga or Leona.
Sure.
And if you need for more information, or Reg Radke, I believe, or John, John
Any
Petrie.
member is a good information point for anybody. If you know somebody that's a Rotary member, talk to them, because they're all good and well-informed representatives.
There you go. So you have very good people, and we hope to see Rotary Club continue their positive contribution for the next 200 years.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Ahmed.
Yeah.
Thank you very much for coming to Global Village today. We're very honored to have both of you. At least what we need is for the community to know the good job that Rotary Club is doing, not internationally, but also locally. And hope we will have more of us to join the club.
Okay.
And I will be one of them.
Okay.
And we'll go from there.
Okay,
And we will
that's good. Yeah.
And we will encourage others to join the club.
Yeah.
And
Great.
you can encourage someone if you're not a member.
That's right.
The first question they ask you is, are you a member?
Are you
No.
a member?
So why are you encouraging me to join?
Why are you saying this?
Why are you
Yeah.
saying that? So,
That's exactly
so we hope to have new members joining and to continue for the good services that you provide to the community. Thank you very much for both of you coming.
Thank you
And-
so much.
Yeah, and for the trustee, you're doing good. And I think for a retired, you're doing good. I think and going to El Salvador, definitely that
Well, I hope I can keep up with the group.
will be eye opener for you too.
Yeah.
To
I'll let
see-
you know how
to
things
see
go.
to see a third world country and
Yeah.
and why people
Yes.
are in that shape. So that gives you some idea.
Good.
Thank you very much. This is our end of the program, Global Village show today. Thank you very much for joining us, and we hope you will join us next time.